This is all happening in Ingloria, not in your world. It will be a way to keep ourselves safe. Of course, we won't do it. We'll try. We'll take risks. We'll get beaten up. We'll get our books will be burnt. All that will happen. But that is part of society. It is part of the way a society matures. We are not a mature society now, and it is good that we should recognize this. We have to look this in the eye and say, "Chal, hum immature," and now we will try and work towards maturity. Consider the biggest literary import in the world from India is Salman Rushdie.
That's what I was thinking about.
Salman Rushdie, I say the name.
I thought you were trying to elicit an answer about a golden pass, so I was confused. I have this name on.
No, I'm saying this is the biggest export we have, and we didn't stand by it. We did. The President of India said it was a good idea to ban the book. So that's what we do. Okay. Let's go. Look at Manto, look at Ismat Chugtai, look at everybody. The same thing. Chugtai they threw shit at her on the streets of Lucknow for writing Leha. Meaning,
Courage invites trouble.
Yeah, and now, so what are you saying to writers? Don't offend me means don't be courageous. And don't be courageous means let everyone down. Imagine tomorrow someone does zulm on you and you go to a writer and say, please write about it, a journalist, and the journalist says, main nahi likhne wala. Then they'll come after me. How would you feel?
So what do you think about this new trend of silencing writers and writers opting?
That as soon as once a writer is opted, see tomorrow he could have chosen to remain silent without doing anything. He made a public statement about remaining silent, which is a call for help. It's not like he's saying, otherwise he could have just shut up and done a Mandavli backstage, did one compromise backstage. He didn't. He put out a cry for help. How have we responded as a society to that cry? That is the question we have to ask ourselves. Right? Regularly, there was a play that was supposed to be last year at the Kala Ghoda festival in Bombay. There was supposed to be a play on Kashmir. Okay? On what has been done in Kashmir. And on the army atrocities in Kashmir. The Bajrang Dal did not like it. They haven't seen the play. They haven't read the script. They know they do not like it. Already.
They judge before they know.
Correct. Okay, chalo. That also, this is regular. People don't like it without seeing it also. That's it. But what is the festival supposed to do? The festival was supported by the Hindustan Times, a big organization. They just withdrew the play. But still, what gives me hope is that they tried this again and the play was going out in another part of Bombay. Small venue, small college. The college students came out and stood outside the play and said, outside the auditorium and said, we are standing here, you beat us up if you want, kill us if you want, but the play will go on. And the play went on. And the Bajrang Dal went home. We can take a stand. We choose very often not to take a stand. But those are choices. Perumal Murugan's is a choice. Now if I tell you guys to do this, tomorrow you all will do it. Tomorrow they will stone you. Then your parents will say, Jerry Pinto aake bola, ye karne ko, dekho ye kya ho gaya. Abhi aise राइटर्स को मत बुलाना और ये फेस्टिवल्स अब छोड़ दो बस फेस्टिवल क्यों यूनिवर्सिटी में क्या है फेस्टिवल करने के लिए गो गेट योर डिग्री एंड कम एंड डू नाइट दिस इज वेयर यू विल डू योर रियल लर्निंग इवन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज लर्निंग टू डील विद लाइक एज द फेस्टिवल गेट्स बिगर द ईगोज विल गेट बिगर the writers will get bigger. You'll learn to deal with the egos also. मेरे को कैसा कमरा दिया ये क्या है वो क्या है ये गाड़ी नहीं है all that will start. Just see. When the festival is young and small, this is the best time. When it gets bigger, you'll just be amazed at how stupid writers can be at certain level. But all this is learning also. Organizing a festival is learning. You have to learn how to take risks. And understand that everyone, Galileo took a risk when he said that the world is not stationary, it goes around the sun, and they threw him into jail for this. Darwin took a risk. Freud took a risk. Every scientist takes a risk. Every thinker takes a risk. Okay? And because they have taken risks, we have progressed. So without those risks, but you have to understand that it is you and your family that must assess the risk. When I finished M and the Big Boom, I showed it to my sister, only living relative in my family, whom I care about, and I said to myself, if she disapproves, if she says, I don't want you talking about our mother like this, that she was mad. I am not. I decided I would not publish it because I don't want to hurt anyone, especially not people I love. My sister said it's fine. She said too many commas. I said okay, I'll take out some commas, and the book went on. But this was my understanding of myself. I spent 20 years on it. I was fairly sure that it was a decent book, but I decided I would not publish it. Yeah. Interview. Go ahead. Now, and is that like the camera on there?
Yes.
You're not miking, you can hear me? Yes. Sound check? Daisy had a little lamb.
Daisy had a little.
And you write about your childhood, and you also are a journalist. That is two different fields. How do you manage to shift from one genre which is more which is simpler, while being a journalist is more complex? So how do you shift?
You know, it is not simple to write for children. Children are the worst markers in the universe. If they do not like what you are writing, they will just stop reading. They will not read on. Have you seen a child in a bookshop? They start, they look in a book, and then they drop it if they are not interested. Adults will think, nahi, ye isko Booker Prize mila hai. No, someone said this is very good. I read this review. Children just aren't interested in all that. They just get interested. Is this a good story? Am I being told a good story? Otherwise, I'm not.
Right.
So writing for children is very, very difficult. But writing for adults is also very difficult. Writing itself is very difficult. So how do I do it? I only do what I want to do every day. So I get up in the morning and I think to myself, I go, you know, I like to offer you an image. Imagine like I'm standing in front of this huge, I don't know, wall. Okay, it's just a facade of windows. And one window is poetry, one window is prose, one window is children's fiction, one window is translation, one window is journalism. And I stand in front of the window and see, is there any movement behind any of the windows? And if there is a movement behind the window, I open that window and some janwar jumps out. I don't know what kind of janwar it is, but some janwar jumps out. And then I wrestle with the janwar all day and then I try and make a story out of it. And sometimes that janwar takes the next 10 years. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes. Sometimes it takes 2 hours. So, like for instance, one day I was sitting there and I opened the window and out came ting, 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 ting. So I thought, finally you have gone mad. Ting, 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 ting. This is an idea. It's a sound. But then I found myself writing this thing. Ming, Ming, fat little bear. Found on his head was standing up hair. Ming, Ming, fat little bear. It was a children's poem. It came. I started writing it. I don't resist it. Up to now, Ming, Ming, fat little bear, found on his head standing up hair, has not found a publisher. I don't care. It will one day, or it won't. I had fun doing it. So most of my life is about trying to find out what kind of writing I want to do that day, and then doing it. This means I am very poor. Okay? Because if
You're so idealistic. How do you combine your idealism with the practical aspect of life, like writing for livelihood?
No, that, see, there is what I call, when all you all over 21.
Yes, I am. I'm a
Everyone?
teacher.
Okay.
I'm a teacher.
Okay, so I say that there are some things that are sex work, right? So you sit in the market and say, बोले क्या चाहिए? Article चाहिए ना, चल ले ले. तेरे को क्या चाहिए? ये चाहिए ना, ले ले. Comment piece चाहिए, comment piece ले ले. चल, मा. So that I try and do as little as possible, and I try and do it for the highest paying bosses. So then one New York Times article, 3 हफ्ते के लिए no work is required. I can live on that for 3 weeks. And then after that I start work. Then I go out and find one more job to do. It's just like that. I used to do mathematics tuitions earlier for that kind of money.
So you wrote a book called Leela, a portrait with Leela Naidu.
Yup, with me.
Amit.
Yeah.
Why about Leela?
Why
not
not
about
Sarojini Naidu? Why
Why
not?
not?
Because
Why not
she-
Sarojini Naidu?
Yes,
Okay, one, because see, there is, okay,
Because she was an actress.
yeah, no, actually it's not all that.
or listed by
I'll tell you,
the
see, okay, now, when I'm starting to do anything, I look inside myself and see if there is a green place. I want a soft green place where I can go, inside myself. So if someone says to me, will you write a history of Aligarh Muslim University? Say, I'll just look whether inside myself, okay, kuch there's some nami. If there's just that feeling, oh, that might be nice, I'll do it.
Okay, the green place means soft corner.
Yeah, just a nice place, a soft green place from which to do that work. If there is no soft green place to do that work, then there must be money involved. If there's no money and no soft green place, then I'm nahi karta. Okay. The best jobs would be if there was a soft green place plus money, which
Plus
there
money.
is. There never is. Up to now there hasn't been, but chalega. You know, in the future there might be. So with Leela Naidu, it was very simple. She called up and said, "I want someone to write my autobiography. Could you help?" And I thought, yeah, I'd like to do that.
But you did not complete it. It is a semi-biography.
No, she refused to make it complete. I mean, Leela Naidu had been tortured by her first husband. Tortured. Meaning, ये बंद करेगा 1 minute के लिए? Because this is not for the record. The Maharaja of Jodhpur told me that once they were standing on the steps of, and Leela Naidu was a fabulously beautiful woman. Fabulous.
It was listed.
Her drunken husband grabbed her by her hair, pulled her down the stairs, stuck her hair in the back of the car and told his driver drag her down the road. And when I heard that story, I thought, oof. So when I talked to her, I said, "Do you want to tell, did this happen?" She shrugged and she said, "Yes, very long ago." I said, "Do you want to talk about it?" She said, "No." Now she said no. I said, "Then that's fine. We won't talk about it." She said, "I can tell you what happened, but I don't want it in my book." So I said, "Your book. You can say what you want, and you cannot say what you want." Then there was a lovely story, beautiful story about captain. There was a captain who fell in love with Leela Naidu, and he called her up one day and he said he was a pilot and he was flying for Tata Airlines. So he called her up and said, "You know, we are taking a plane and we are jumping to Pune. Come, we'll have coffee at the club and we'll come back." So he said, "Okay, darling, let's go." So Leela Naidu and this captain, and behind is one of the directors of the Tatas. And he's driving, he took off and he's flying towards the Ghats and he says, "Leela, if you don't say you love me and you marry me, I'm going to smash this plane into the Ghats." So Leela lit a cigarette and said, "Oh darling, don't be silly." and they went straight at the Ghats, and at the last minute he pulled off. Okay. And